Hello there, this is Sandeep Arora here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about evaluations with Agentforce Testing Center. So Agentforce Testing Center is a tool by Salesforce which allows you to test, evaluate your AI agents which you build on your CRM system inside Salesforce. I'm going to talk about a little bit about evaluations and then we'll take a look at a demo using this tool. Let's take a closer look. So I really like this slide by OpenAI where they put together a life cycle of AI systems, and evals are one of the most critical steps, and in my opinion they are a bridge between your idea and a reliable, accurate AI system. Okay, so let's take a closer look again. Okay, let's take a step back. This visual from OpenAI, I really like it. So in your AI product lifecycle, right, once you know what you want to create, how you want to embed AI into your workflow, or you want to create an AI app, do the POC, prototype it, but then the second most important step is to have defined, targeted evaluations, right? I've put some red icons over here because I really think that evals are the bridge from your idea to a successful AI implementation. Okay, and this is a very new skill. It requires some change management. It requires unlearning traditional testing and learning new patterns, new probabilistic ways of testing, and being comfortable with that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you in a demo, but again I want to emphasize that evals are critical. Spend time, learn among your team, establish golden data sets, establish goals. Once you have that, right, then you can start to optimize your solution, whether it's prompt based or RAG based, or you want to fine tune. Once this is done, this essentially means that you are fine with the accuracy of the system. Once the accuracy is acceptable, only after that is when you start to look at the cost to make sure the cost is acceptable to you, the latency is acceptable to you, and then you deploy it in production. Now there could be a chance where either the latency or the cost or the accuracy is not acceptable, and that happens all the time because AI has a last mile problem. In that case, you have to think about having human in the loop, or you have to just come back to the drawing board. But again, evals are critical, and that's the reason I'm just creating this demo to show you Agentforce Testing Center. I've spoken about this earlier, but again, AI involves unlearning traditional testing methodologies and learning new ways of evaluating and being comfortable with risk. Okay, so this is the difference between AI agents and traditional software. It is very probabilistic in nature. There is, and hence the testing strategy is different. This is again some details, and Agentforce life cycle, right? Again, it's the same thing. Testing is very critical, and I'm gonna show this to you. But I like this slide because what I want to tell you is when you evaluate your agent or your AI app, you have to evaluate not only the response, but you have to evaluate how it's reasoning, how it's planning. Is it executing the right topics in the right order? Is it picking up the right actions, the right tools? And then finally, is the output you expected? So these are the things you have to evaluate. my demo is gonna be simple. It's gonna be on a summarization case, but you get the point over here, right? So let's go to the demo, and I've created an agent which summarizes a chat transcript for a mobile company called Skywave. So here is my agent, and what it does is it summarizes a chat transcript. All right, so I can just say, so it's going to summarize it in a way I want it to. And what we are going to do today is we are going to evaluate the accuracy of this summarization. So let's go to setup over here, and if you type in testing center, here it is. So what you do is we are going to create a new test. Okay, we are going to name it Jan 9th Jan 2026 demo. Okay, and we are testing Skywave agent. And the concepts are gonna be the same for evals, whether you use Salesforce or you use OpenAI eval or you use any other framework. The concepts are the same. So this is a very simple single turn agent, so we don't need these two options. Now it's asking me to upload the reference data or the golden set data. I don't have it, so I'm gonna create it right now with you. So okay, so this is the template we got. Let's make it our own. This is all just test, sample data with Salesforce put in. So I'm gonna just show you, and we'll make it our own by our own golden data set, by our own reference data set, the way we want the data we want to test the agent against. Okay, so the first one is, this is the utterance, summarize this chat ID for me, and I want, okay, I'm just gonna put in some dummy topic. So the testing center will fail this case because it will pick up the right topic. Okay, and I'm gonna say just dummy action. And now the expected response. So this is critical, right? So this is what I expect the agent to return after summarization. This is exactly what I want to return. Okay, and I have another golden data set. I'm just gonna say, hey, this time I'm gonna say whatever, and here okay, so I'm gonna save this. Okay, already. So let's go back to Salesforce and I'm gonna upload this. Okay, and this is over here. Cool. Let's go to the next step. Okay, so it's asking me what evaluation criteria I'm interested in, and I'm gonna pick all of them because I need to know all these things. So let's just go through them, right? Completeness is a score which evaluates if the response has all the information. Coherence is a score which evaluates if the answer is grammatically correct. Conciseness is the accuracy. It needs to be accurate. And latency is the length of time it took the agent to generate the response. So these all four are of my interest. Uh-oh, it's giving me an error. So let's fix this CSV. I know what the problem is. So I'm gonna delete this row. Okay, so this time it should work. Let's just start from beginning. Okay, it worked this time, right? So the problem was I did not paste the expected response correctly in that Excel. So let's see. Okay, it's gonna spend some time running this test case, and in a minute or so we should see the results. Okay, so it comes back and it says it's 50% pass. So let's see. So the first one, it's saying it is let's take a look at it. So it's complete. Okay, the topic failed, of course, because the topic name was something else, and I was expecting dummy action, so that is fine. Same thing with action. Let's come over here now. The expected response, this was my expected response, but this is the actual response and it failed. Okay, why is it failing? Because let's see, it's telling me that let's just download the results, it will be much better. Okay, so here, so this was the expected response and this is the actual response. Now it's telling me it failed and it's giving me a score of 2. So let's just spend some time looking at what the problem is. So here is the problem, right? So my expected customer ID for David was TX7887, but because the chat transcript did not have the customer ID, the prompt generated something for it. It said David this, and that is one issue, right? So that is one of the reasons why this outcome result have failed. Okay, and the score is 2. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Here I think everything looks good. Name of caller Priya Shah, customer ID this. If you look over here, name of caller Priya Shah, customer ID is correct. A call reason, call keeps dropping. Next steps none required. Here it says next steps none. So the entities are correct. There is some slight difference in the terminology for the next steps, and hence it said success because the meaning is the same and the outcome score is 4. So the takeaway here is for your use case, you have to determine what score is most appropriate for you. Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it maybe 5 for mission critical regulatory use cases? So that is a decision you have to make. Okay, but the point is the testing center uses LLM as a judge. It compared the expected output to the actual output and it gave a score, and it gives an analysis of why it scored that way. Okay, so now your QA teams have to look at this. They have to maybe, I would just import this into a table and go through the ones which are really low scoring, and then optimize my solution, optimize my agent, optimize my prompt. Okay, so now let's take a look at others. The completion status, this is 5, this is 2, of course, because since there was an error, it is not complete. Here it is 4, so it is 5. So that is the way, and then coherence is 4 and 5, because coherence, what it means is if the response is grammatically correct, and of course both responses are correct grammatically, structurally. So the scores are high, but we don't, that's not our, in most use cases this is important but not the most important, right? And the latency. So I hope you got an idea, and I think here also it does explain. The challenge is QA teams have to look at these results and further spend time on them, but it's pretty okay. So let's see, completeness. Okay, yeah, okay, so hope this is helpful. I'm gonna see you again very soon.